Story: The Birth of the Werewolf. Into dark forest night. The moon hangs high in the sky, a glowing full circle illuminating a dense, ancient forest. Shadows dance between towering trees. A chilling wind whispers through the branches as we follow the steps of a lone wanderer. Lyle, mid-30s, rugged, determined. Legend speaks of the werewolf, a creature born not just from curse, but from hunger, fear, and a forgotten pact made with the wild. Dark forest. Night. Lyle walks cautiously, clutching a silver talisman. His eyes dart nervously to the forest around him. Every tale I've heard, every story whispered in taverns, led me to this place. They all say the same thing. The curse began here. Suddenly, a loud snap of a twig behind him. Lyle whirls around, drawing a dagger. Silence. Lyle, who's there? A low growl echoes from deep within the woods. Lyle tightens his grip on the dagger. His breath fogs in the cool night air. But the story of the werewolf's creation is far older than any curse. It begins in a time when man and beast were much closer, when the wild called out to humankind, and some answered. Flashback. Centuries ago, a small, primitive village nestled at the base of a towering mountain. Villagers go about their daily tasks, unaware of the dark fate awaiting them. Long ago, when the world was younger, there was a village that lived on the edge of civilization. The villagers were proud, strong, and their lives intertwined with the forest that surrounded them. But in their pride, they forgot to respect the ancient laws of the wild. A young hunter, Caleb, early 20s, fearless but reckless, sharpens his spear. His father, an elderly man with a wise but weary expression, watches him closely. Said Caleb's father, "You should not go beyond the boundaries, Caleb. The forest may provide, but it demands respect." "Caleb, I am not afraid of the woods, father. I will bring back enough to feed the village for weeks. The beasts are nothing compared to our skill." Caleb's father shakes his head, knowing his words fall on deaf ears. Caleb's father, "It is not the beasts you should fear, but what lies deeper. There are spirits older than you can imagine, forces that do not bow to man's will." Caleb rolls his eyes and stands, spear in hand. Old stories. That's all they are. XT Deep Forest. Day. Caleb ventures deeper into the forest, far beyond the village's usual hunting grounds. The trees here are ancient, their bark twisted and gnarled, the air thick with mist. Hours pass. Caleb finds nothing but silence. No animals, no birds, just the oppressive stillness of the deep woods. "Caleb, where are they?" He moves further until he reaches a massive ancient oak tree. Strange symbols are carved into its bark, glowing faintly in the dim light. A distant howl echoes through the trees. Caleb had crossed a boundary far older than his village. He had entered the domain of Fenrir, the wolf god, an ancient spirit who ruled over the creatures of the forest and the moonlit night. Suddenly, Caleb hears rustling in the bushes. He raises his spear, heart pounding. "Caleb, come out." A massive wolf, larger than any Caleb had ever seen, steps into the clearing. Its fur is black as night, and its eyes glow an unnatural yellow. For a moment, Caleb freezes, locked in the beast's gaze. The wolf was no ordinary creature. It was the guardian of Fenrir's realm, a spirit born of the wild magic that flowed through the ancient forest. Caleb, in a moment of reckless pride, hurls his spear at the wolf. It strikes the beast, but rather than flee, the wolf snarls, its form shifting unnaturally. The ground trembles as a deep voice, neither human nor beast, fills the air. "Foolish mortal, you have trespassed in my domain, and now you will learn the price of arrogance." The wolf lunges at Caleb, but as it does, its body begins to change. Its bones crack and shift, transforming from wolf to man. Before Caleb stands a towering figure, half beast, half human, the first werewolf. What are you?" "I am the guardian of this forest, the first of the cursed. But now, the curse will pass to you." Werewolf named Fenrir slashes at Caleb, biting deep into his shoulder. Caleb screams in agony, the wound glowing with unnatural light. He collapses, writhing on the forest floor as his body begins to change. The transformation was immediate, violent. Caleb's bones cracked and stretched, his skin tore and healed as fur sprouted from his flesh. The curse of the werewolf was born, a punishment for those who dared challenge the wild. On the edge of the mountain, night reigneth. Back in the village, the once quiet night is shattered by a blood-curdling howl. The villagers rush from their huts, weapons drawn, as Caleb, now fully transformed into a werewolf, charges into the village. He slashes at everything in his path, driven by a primal hunger. His eyes, once human, are now the glowing yellow of the wolf god's curse. But the curse was not just a punishment for Caleb. It was a curse for all mankind, a reminder that nature cannot be tamed, and those who defy it will pay the price. Dark forest, present day. Leal stands frozen in the forest, listening to the distant howl of a wolf. The silver talisman in his hand begins to glow faintly. The curse was passed down from generation to generation. Now it is my turn to face the wild, to face the wolf. The bushes rustle again, and this time a pair of glowing yellow eyes emerge from the darkness. Lyle braces himself as a massive werewolf steps into view, its fur black as night, its eyes burning with the same ancient magic that once transformed Caleb. The werewolf was born from the wild, a creature of both man and beast, forever caught between two worlds. But its creation was not the end of the story. It was only the beginning. Out in the forest, dark night. The werewolf lunges at Lyle, and the screen cuts to black as the sound of a fierce struggle echoes through the night. For as long as men walk the earth, the werewolf will hunt them, a reminder of the power of the wild and the price of pride. The scene fades out, leaving only the eerie glow of the full moon shining through the trees. Fade to black. And this is the end of the werewolf story. If you find it interesting, give me a like, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to watch the channel's ghost stories and ancient mysteries. Thank you. You have watched the video. See you in the next video.